everyone, George here, and hopefully I'll provide you an interesting video about three little known uses for heroes by yours truly, George Heodes. So with no further ado, let's get into it. Let's dive into the rule book and see what we're going to come up for heroes. So the first little known use for heroes, believe it or not, is they're the only single man counter that can use single-handedly a bazooka 44, a bazooka, period. So ordinarily we would have known about this little nugget or gem, if you will, of a rule, had it been with rules for heroes. However, this rule is under Chapter C, specifically C 13.45. And if you read it carefully, you'll notice that a bazooka can be used by a single single man counter only if that SMC is a hero. And the hero rules are under 15.23. So essentially what that means is that ordinarily 2 leaders are required to um, fire a bazooka, but in this case, since the the unit is a hero, a single hero can fire um, a bazooka. Now, I call this slide Bazooka Joe, but obviously I'm making some sort of reference to Audie Murphy. Um, there's a couple of other uh, American heroes that I believe they mounted bazookas on an observation plane in order to strife the Germans. It was really incredible. Anywho, on to number 2. So, -1 DRM. So, heroes are considered stealthy. So, they end up having a -1 DRM for ambush, concealment growth, search and destroy casualties, and that's all under 4. Apart from that, we already should know by reading the hero rules that a hero where um, 2 SMCs are otherwise required to fire an MG, for example, an LMG or a heavy machine gun is what I'm thinking about. A single hero can fire a heavy machine gun by incurring a +1 DRM that can be offset by their heroic DRM. And not only that, a hero can impart within normal range, that's 4 hex range, its -1 DRM fire group, unlike an ordinary leader. Drinking water tonight. Number 2. And number three, I don't have a rule quote, but it's very evident that within a 4 hex range, that hero exerts a 1 firepower attack, and it's typically a 1 with a -1 DRM to your dice roll because of the heroic DRM. Therefore, in theory at least, practice, um, what can result in that being said is interdiction. So we'll go on to the map board and try and figure out an example that uh, we can practice. And of course, Murphy's law is going to dictate my dice rolls. I'm going to have the screen configured in such a fashion so you can see my dice rolls. Let's see what happens. Let's go to example number 1, whereby we have a hero and a bazooka. Here he is. Murphy, Bazooka 44. I didn't want to do a 45 because I feared that it was too OP, overpowered. So let's copy this or clone it and take it here so we can see the two hit table. Flip. So the -1 DRM doesn't apply, I don't believe. So at a 2 hex range, it's an 8 to hit. Um, should I incur a +2 DRM for backblast? I don't think so. Let's say no. So ordinarily, it's an 8 to hit. There's no other modifiers we're firing during our prep fire phase. You could incur a +2 DRM to avoid backblast. Um, However, we really want to get that Panzer IV out of the way. So we'll just go ahead and hit base 8 to hit. There's no other modifiers. It's not a small target. He's not hull down. Let's roll and see what happens. Remember Murphy's Law, guys. Let's roll. 2 hit. 8, exactly what I needed. And a 4 on the run table is a normal morale check, which I'll take after resolving the attack as a result of backblast. And now we need an 8 or less to kill it because the 2 kill on um, the 2 kill on the bazooka indicates it's a 16 to kill. We did a hull hit, therefore we didn't get the advantage of hitting the turret, which is a weaker armor factor, most likely a 6. So we need an 8 to kill and then have to pass a normal morale check. And the bad thing about heroes is that if they fail the morale check, they're simply wounded and they can't pin. So let's roll in the 2 kill. Got him. We rolled a 7, which is 1 less than what we needed to kill. So he's wrecked. Before you wreck him, you look at the crew survival. That's a 6. So keep that in mind. Wreck, crew survival, 6. We get a little crew counter out. And I know, I won't forget um, the normal morale check. Normal morale check, we pass. Geez. Now, could I have used the -1 heroic DRM on my 2 hit roll? I'm thinking that the same rules would apply to the bazooka as the heavy machine gun. I would have to incur a +1 to use it completely on my own, and I'm offsetting that with the -1 leadership heroic DRM. If someone doesn't agree with that approach, let me know and give me a rule reference below respectfully. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's go on to our second example. Our second example is as follows. Here we got Mackenzie. He's a hero with a 666, so that's 7 firepower factors. Uh, on the other hand, on the opposing side, we have a 467 and a 80 leader. That's 5 firepower factors. 4 for the squad plus 1 for the leader. That makes 5 versus 7. 7 versus 5. 7 is not double of 5, so we've got a 1-to-1 for the Americans and a 1-to-2 for the Germans. In go the Americans in close combat, and now we have to roll for ambush. However, the Americans get a -1 DRM because the hero is considered stealthy, and I imagine that I can also use the -1 DRM for the hero, giving me a -2. Again, if anybody disagrees, let me know. So I'm going to use the colored die to represent the Americans and the white die to represent the Germans. Let's see if we've got ambush. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. That's quick math. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. So there is no ambush. But now let's see 1-to-1 combat for the Americans. We need 5 or less. No. How about a 1-to-2 for the Germans? No. They're locked in melee. Now let's go on to our third example, blocking route paths. So let's say this unit here is broken. Let's try and break him. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 doubled because of point blank fire is a 20. Up 2 for the wooden building. What did we roll? They don't cower, it's leader directed. We rolled a 10 on the 20. 10 on the 20 is a 1 morale check. Let's roll. It passed. Ineffective. Let's say we broke him in any case. Here you go. Break. Now it's he must route because he cannot remain adjacent to a good order unit. He cannot route here. He cannot route there or there because he can see the 346, and if you don't believe me, here it is. Whereas if the half squad was an M8, then there isn't any line of sight. Great. So he can route there, and he can route to any of these places. Therefore, he is automatically considered to be a prisoner, unless no quarters in effect. And typically, there are um, there are disadvantages of claiming no quarter because once you do, broken units can subsequently run away. And they can run away, self rally, and come back to haunt you and retake a position that you once cleared. So you do want to take prisoners where um, possible. Let's label this as prisoner A, as an alpha, clone. So conceivably the 367 can deploy, clone, and one fellow will take the prisoner. Put these guys underneath here. And one fellow will take the MMG. And the prisoner's weapon just falls down to the ground, waiting for the American squads to pick him up. And you put this fellow in a prisoner's box. So that's basically what I wanted to convey to you. It's been just a short 13-minute video, but it's good, concise, and informative. I hope you found it informative, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. Now, having said that, I did a bit of an improvement by buying a little microphone. I hope the audio is a lot clearer than before. Um, Usually, I kind of poked around and found out what could possibly cause the audio issues, and there's two elements to it. One could be the microphone or the microphone driver, and the last one is potentially when I'm doing a video, the video capture and the recording is done as a slow drive, and it slows everything down. Thus, you hear an echo. So hopefully, I'll resolve that, and your audio is loud and clear. And next, we're going to work on the graphics and whatnot. So, with that said, I conclude my video. Listen, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody out there, thank you for supporting the channel. The channel hovered around 900 subscribers. Let's make it to 100,000. Why not? Uh, yeah, I deserve it. I work hard for my money. So, and there's no money to be made on YouTube, but just the same. Um, the whole message here is, though, thanks a lot for your support. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos. Keep up the good work and pass the word around. Thank you once again. I cannot thank you enough. And see you soon. Take care.